From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening, thank you for joining us. One man is in police custody tonight and another is in hospital following a shooting in the state's north. The altercation sparking an early morning manhunt through the streets of Georgetown, rocking the tight-knit community.
The usually peaceful Davies Street this morning, the centre of a frightening crime.
Shock, but it's very quiet street. Sometimes you have the young hoons and stuff, but other than that, it's pretty quiet street.
A 40-year-old man shot in the chest in a driveway just before 4 o'clock. The victim then riding his motorbike to a nearby house. Residents there raising the alarm.
He was taken to the Launceston General Hospital where he received emergency care. He's now in a sedated condition.
The incident triggering a 3-hour-long manhunt. A 45-year-old prospect man arrested at a nearby motel around 7 a.m.
Information received from members of the public of Georgetown. He's been taken into custody and assisting police with inquiries.
Police spending the day combing through evidence, searching the accused offender's car for the suspected weapon.
Several firearms have been located. We believe the firearm that was used in this incident has been located.
A neighbour who lives close by had just returned home from work when the incident occurred. She says she originally thought the shots were fireworks before realising what they actually were. Other neighbours telling us they slept through the entire ordeal.
Yeah, I completely slept through it. I didn't hear a thing.
The pair are believed to be known to each other. The extent of their relationship and a motive now under investigation. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
After their 13-point loss to Hawthorn in Launceston on the weekend, the day got a whole lot worse for the Fremantle Dockers, forced to relieve themselves in the bathroom sink of their charter flight when the toilet stopped working on the trip home.
After their loss to the Hawks at UTAS Stadium, Saturday was going to be an afternoon to forget for the Dockers, but it's safe to say the flight home was one to remember. They'd chartered a plane from Launceston to Perth, but 30 minutes into the 4-hour flight, the water ran out, meaning the toilets couldn't be flushed.
The cabin crew had to physically clean the toilets and scoop out, people's waste. Number 2s, yes. And we understand that number 1s may have had to be done in the sink.
Safely home and training today, the flight from hell is now a distant memory.
Pretty nice flight on the way there, and on the way back I was asleep pretty much the whole time and dehydrated, so I didn't need to go, so it was good to get home.
Charter company National Jet Express telling us it's conducting a thorough investigation into the incident and that it takes the matter very seriously. The AFL is also investigating.
Obviously from a health and safety perspective it wasn't great, but in terms of getting home quickly and our players and staff being comfortable, they were comfortable enough.
The same can't be said for the cabin crew who needed to deal with the foul mid-air crisis.
No, this is just a snapshot of the crisis the aviation industry is in. What we're saying as a union and demanding of the federal government is that we have a safe and secure skies commission that can look into these things.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania is bucking a nationwide trend with our unemployment rate falling last month. Australia's jobs market is holding steady despite slow growth and persistent inflation. Nationally, the unemployment rate rose from 4 to 4.1% in June, but local employers say they're struggling to fill roles.
Actively recruiting. I think the journey for the last year to 2 years has been a constant for us.
Investors say there is a 1 in 5 chance the Reserve Bank will increase rates from 4.35% to 4.6% when it meets in August. Interstate nurses and midwives could pocket up to $15,000 if they move to Tasmania as part of the state government's bid to bolster staff numbers in the sector. But applicants will need to work for 3 years to get the full amount.
Those applications are available for nurses from the mainland, from overseas, from anywhere else to come to Tasmania. We want you, we need you.
Scholarships for $10,000 are also available for Tasmanian nursing graduates who start their careers here. And Labor here has doubled down on its backing of the UTAS Sandy Bay sale, warning if it's blocked, students could be robbed of the state-of-the-art science facilities. Proposed legislation could cancel plans to put the campus up for sale, casting doubt over a $500 million STEM facility, along with the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies on Hobart's waterfront.
We are currently losing STEM students to the mainland, where their facilities are state-of-the-art, like the facilities here at IMAS, whereas we could be attracting STEM students to Tasmania.
The legislation will be voted on when Parliament returns next month. Proposed changes to rental laws could disadvantage seasonal workers. The Greens say those who live on farms could be made to leave their accommodation on the same day if their job is terminated.
We absolutely can strike the right balance between the rights of the employer and making it easier and simpler for them to have safe on-site accommodation, but also for the renters, for the workers themselves.
The government says it is working with the farming industry to secure more housing for workers. Federal police have raided a home in the state's south, seizing more than 3,000 bird eggs as part of an international investigation. The specimens believed to have been used in a global trade market. They're estimated to be worth a whopping $500,000.
Row upon row, laid out like collector's items. More than 3,000 eggs on private display in a Tasmanian home, some thought to be from our rarest native birds.
Many of the species, things like the 40-spotted pardlote, the swift parrot, critically endangered.
The exotic eggs are believed to have been taken from nests across Tasmania before being stored at a property north of Hobart. That wasn't till the federal police swooped in as part of a global crackdown on wildlife crime. A 62-year-old man is suspected of using the eggs as commodity in an international trade, confirming the market for rare eggs is alive and well.
The rarer a species becomes, the more valuable the eggs become, and therefore there's a greater incentive to collect even more eggs before the species goes extinct.
The state government commending the swift actions of the AFP.
That's an important job that they do have, and I'm really pleased and back them in and say thank you for what they do.
The bizarre collection has experts worried, with Tasmania's threatened species already fighting an uphill battle.
We're already seeing endangered species seriously at threat, like the swift parrot, from habitat destruction and ongoing native forest logging.
While no arrest has been made, the penalties for bird egg trading is 10 years imprisonment, a $330,000 fine, or both.
It's such a destructive process, and it's all about personal financial gain rather than, having any benefit for the species in any way.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
A new look playground in Gagebrook has officially welcomed its first users. Named in the honour of community trailblazer Chris Fitzpatrick, the upgraded park is designed to be a safe place for the entire community.
Fully fenced, so safe for young children. It's very important that parents can bring their kids here and ensure that they're safe.
It's basically a big upgrade of what was a fairly moribund old park, and it's a wonderful nature playground. There's a zip line here, there's underground shelters.
The $1.2 million revamp also includes an outdoor classroom and kitchen pavilion.
After playing for South Freo in the WAFL this season, Charlie Vandenberg is one of 8 ins for the Tasmanian women at this weekend's Interstate game against Sydney Canberra as they look to bounce back from last month's loss to Queensland.
Happy to see number 3. Still 44 points in arrears.
Obviously having one game under their belt, that might settle the nerves a little bit coming home, and definitely playing at UTAS home ground. We've been training there a little bit, so working on the ways that we want to move the footy and use that ground to our advantage.
There are 7 changes to the men's squad, which was victorious up in Queensland. And both men's and women's Tigers coaches think they're fielding the strongest teams yet in a bid to play Hockey One finals this year.
A fantastic mix of older guys and younger guys, and sort of the young guys that we've picked, there's a large portion of them who are looking to become sort of career hockey players.
Hopefully they can make it. This final series we played down in Hobart. Olympians Madison Brooks, Josh Belts and Eddie Ockenden headline the star-studded lineup. They have a couple of months between Paris and the start of the Hockey One season.
Good evening. Hobart and Burnie 12 today. 13 for Launceston, Devonport and St Helens, the state's top. 12 for the islands, Smithton, Low Head and Friendly Beaches, Maria Island, Grove and Bushy Park 11. 10 the maximum in Strawn and 3 degrees again today in Lyowini. The satellite here shows low cloud about the west and south with mostly clear skies about the north, the Midlands and the east. A large area of low cloud remains through Victoria, New South Wales, SA and southern Queensland. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure will cross northern Australia while a cold front approaches Tasmania from the west. Northwesterly winds 20 to 30 knots about the west and north, grading 10 to 20 knots about the east and southeast, with mild west to southwesterly swells. A gale warning has been issued between southeast Cape to Wineglass Bay, and a strong wind warning is also in place for remaining coastal waters to include the southwest lakes. A flood warning continues for the St Paul's River, and a warning to sheep graziers located on the Furneaux Islands, the central north and the northeast and northwest. Showers and legs 11 all round in the south tomorrow for Hobart, Huonville and Campania. Wet and windy conditions continue towards the north at Launceston, Devonport and Georgetown, all 10. Rain will fall in Burnie and Strawn, 10. A high chance of rain for Wynyard, 11's the top there. Showers for St Helens and Port Arthur, 11. A couple of showers also for Swansea with 12. Saturday, scattered showers about the north, clearing during the afternoon with isolated showers about the west, with snow falling to 900 metres. Sunday, showers about the west extending to the north throughout the day. And as the kids head back to the classroom, we can expect showers about the west and north on Monday until showers develop in the afternoon. Across the nation tomorrow, fine and sunny in Darwin 28, increasing rain in Melbourne 12, a shower or two for both Perth and Canberra. Right now in Hobart, partly cloudy, 8 degrees, clear in Launceston with 6 degrees and also clear in Devonport with 8. It is remaining soggy for the rest of the school holidays. I think I'll find some chores for my kids at home, or I could just send them to your place, Murph.
Well, we might need to rethink that last bit, Kyra. I don't think I could afford them, particularly trying to feed Noah. That'd be unbelievable. We'll see you tomorrow night.